My name's Angela Judd, and I love teaching people how to garden. Whether that means through my website, in person, on YouTube, I want to teach people how to garden successfully here in the low desert. We moved here to Mesa in 2008, and I finally had room to start a garden. When I started gardening, I really wanted to learn how to grow my own food. I had a family, I love to cook, and I was trying to grow fruits and vegetables and some flowers to feed my family and add beauty, and I struggled. Gardening here in the low desert is challenging. You look on the back of a seed packet, that's not the right information. I would have some success, things would sprout, and then it would get hot and everything would die. And so I wouldn't actually come to harvest. In 2015, I took the Master Gardener classes from the University of Arizona Extension Office and loved those. It was really empowering to be taught these classes in person by someone who knew exactly what they were talking about.
Sprinkle these guys, they only need to be covered with about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch.
I would just be up front asking questions, trying to learn as much as I could. My other favorite part of that experience was working in the demonstration garden. You know, Pam Perry is a local Arizona gardening legend.
And we'll wrap this guy with the frost cloth, just like the other one was. I found Master Gardeners through fellow volunteers at the Denver Botanic Garden in Denver. It was a new program that was being introduced back in the mid-'80s.
And I would just be ready to okay, put me to work. She's like, it's okay. We're just gonna walk around and enjoy and learn and kind of observe the garden first. And that was my first real lesson from Pam. I learned so many things, but just spending time in your garden every day and observing what is going on before we just come in and take action.
All right. Okay. The Master Gardeners work in this garden. It's a once-a-week garden. I have a great core group of committed people who come week after week after week and keep track of the composting and the harvesting and the watering and the debugging and the walk through the garden and the weeding.
Then I started writing for the Master Gardeners. They have a monthly publication, Roots and Shoots. I would write a monthly how to grow beans, how to grow Swiss chard. I had these articles and my sister-in-law encouraged me to start a blog. And that appealed to me because I remember that new gardener in me who struggled. I really didn't know what I was doing. And so I felt like anything that I was learning, I wanted to tell that old me to say, you can do this. You can do it. There's just a few principles that you need to do. And so I try to make the articles accessible. You know, here's 5 tips for growing this.
This garden provides a launching place for gardeners who didn't even know they wanted to be gardeners a lot of times. I have met people in this garden who've never picked up a shovel. Angela took the training and has definitely found a niche. She's out in the East Valley. She is able to reach a whole nother community out there.
I discovered the program, funny enough, by watching some YouTube videos from Angela Judd and learned about her experience with the Master Gardener program, and I've always had a love and a passion for gardening that started when I was a little kid in my grandparents' gardens in Idaho. Going out and, as my wife says, touching dirt helps heal me and helps me to decompress.
So there are 4 fundamentals to be successful gardening, I would say anywhere. The first thing I would say is timing. Here in the low desert, we have several different seasons, and most things can grow here if you plant them at the right time. Number 2, focus on your soil. Your garden will only be as good as your soil. Sunlight is another fundamental. We need to make sure that we are managing the sunlight. We have abundant sunlight, which is a huge blessing. But morning sunlight, afternoon shade, almost any plant's gonna be happy. Full sun with a block wall, there's only a few, just a handful of plants that can take that kind of condition. And then finally, watering. Watering is the other one. A lot of problems traced back to incorrect watering, often too much water. We're giving the plants a little bit of water every day instead of nice deep soakings that encourage those roots to grow really deep. And that's when you're going to have those tough plants that can withstand kind of the tough conditions we're asking those plants to grow in. When you're first starting out, I would say learn about the crops you want to grow. If you want to grow tomatoes and that's what is important to you, learn about it. Don't be afraid to start. Vegetable, herb, flower, learn about those 3 things, get them planted, and then when you're ready for more, start adding and you'll have a successful garden. So my background is as an artist, but I think those early memories of time spent in my grandparents' garden in Indiana, it felt immense. It felt so big. And I remember, picking the beans, spending time with my grandpa, having him point things out to me. Those left an impact, and now I feel close to my grandpa when I'm in the garden. There's a tradition there, and I'm so happy that I've been able to continue that.
It's the sense of community, I think. A place for people who share similar interests and a sense of inquiry, whether it's a new insect, whether it is a new fruit, a new veg. We'd talk recipes and we'd share ideas on what to do with the produce. It's just empowering everybody to do stuff.
I'm passionate about helping other people realize that they can do this too. There's just a little bit of things they need to learn, but I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Teaching people how to garden. I love sitting down to write an article, hitting publish, and just the feeling of this is what I'm supposed to do.
Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, host of Arizona Illustrated. Thanks so much for watching this story from our show. And for more local stories from Arizona Illustrated, just click right here.